Hi, my name is Zaira. I am 17 years old and I am from Mexico City. In this video I talk about art, specifically about dance from my perspective. Although I have been in the world of dance for only 4 years, it certainly forms an important part of me as a person and as a teenager. In the second part of the video, my partner Melania talks about her perspective in conjunction with music. Art is not only a means of expression, it is also a means of communication. For this reason, people can identify with themselves and identify with the other, identify the environment and recognize the different opportunities that exist. It also provides the opportunity to connect with your essence, with your deepest feelings and of being those who could not be because of the repression to which your parents, teachers, etc. have forced you. Art offers the opportunity to build your own identity and to respect that of others, to be more tolerant of the differences of others. Making art, in any of its expressions, is a reflective and critical process that allows the individual to understand conflicts in a different way and to propose new ways in the face of adversity. It also facilitates the development or discovery of other skills. Dance is the art of moving the body in a rhythmic way, often to the sound of a music, to express an emotion or an idea, to tell a story or simply to enjoy the movement itself. Throughout history, dance has experienced a long evolution parallel to the changes suffered by humanity through the different periods or periods of civilization. Therefore, we can affirm that it is a discipline with a deep historical tradition. Dance is generally defined as the language of the body, which combines movements harmoniously. It is also art and a form of expression that allows to coordinate physical skills, intellectual activity and the expression of emotions and feelings. For me it's much more than that. It's not just moving to express our feelings, it's creating movements that represent situations or emotions that maybe as a dancer, you've never had or lived. For me has also been multiple scolding by my grandmother or my mother to be dancing everywhere and at all times. Be in the kitchen doing pirouettes or enter my room practicing a step that does not leave me in the morning, while the others sleep. If I stayed with the definition of the dance it would be the Suzanne Langer says. All this is real, but in dance all this disappears. The more perfect the dance is, the less we can see its materialities. And it is that, in fact, when you dance, or at least I take everything out of my mind, everything else disappears. I focus on expressing myself, on doing good movements, on enjoying. In my opinion, dancing has created a before and after in my identity. Since I was little I never showed interest in any activity, much less in dance. In part, because I do not have that education from my parents who preferred to play with dolls, and, second, because I had never had that experience, so it never caught my attention. But when I was creating my identity, when I was seeing what I wanted to be part of who I am, I decided to venture into the world of dance, without imagining that it would become a part of me. I started little by little, first, as a hobby, no more, and soon, I had become all that I am and I want to be, to set aside what I thought were my priorities, and to make the dance my most high priority. I made it my priority not because I was forced or thought it was the right thing to do, but because I liked it and it made me happy. It's been 3 years since I made that decision, and I'm still happy. I do not regret having done the dance, most important part of my identity. The identity that I created in my social environment, if they have been different, but the identity in all is different. So I will not say that the dance has made me the most special in my social circles. For example, in my family, if I can carry the weight of being the dancer, not because I am a great dancer, but because my family is not very inclined towards the arts, it is not something that really interests them. I think it's important that the family inculcates such knowledge of art as it is with mathematics or scientific knowledge, because art is as important as science. With regard to my group of friends at school, I have an identity centered on dance. Everything I do has some relationship with dance. My friends may be talking about football and I seek to enter the conversation by relating football with dance. It's fun, because I remember having several conversations about whether danza is also a sport or not. Then they say, teach me to dance. In some way, everything related to dance with me is related to how I am and is the topic of which I speak the most. Now that I think about my life before I started dancing, I could not honestly believe how I could live without him, spend a day without dancing. For me, it's a bad day because that's where I release everything, my joys, my sorrows, my anger, my energy. Suzanne Langer also says the dance is a mirage in the desert that attracts our attention above all, because not every day is seen, and I think that's what happened to me. How did I get into the world of the arts without ever having had an approach to them? It was a question I asked myself for a long time, and I think the explanation will be attributed to luck. I was lucky enough to get to a dance school to ask for reports. I was not going to do more, and suddenly I was taking classes with a teacher that was really good. It was good luck to get to that place to ask for reports, plus how I stayed. That's the interesting thing, because I did not like going to the dance class. I was bored and it seemed useless. In fact, my mother forced me to go because I had already paid for them, but I refused. Suddenly I began to grab the taste. I was advancing level and received great support from my teacher. I think that when I decided it was something that I really liked and wanted to continue practicing, it was when we had our first dance presentation. That adrenaline, because we did not know if you were doing things well or not, but at the same time happiness and energy. Doing what you like was what made me stay in the dance. I think that if I have to award a person the fact that I liked the dance as much as to make it part of me, it would be to my teacher, because he supported me even though I thought it did not work for the dance, and he pushed me every day until that things came out. The dance created a discipline. I stopped sleeping in the afternoon to go 6 days a week to a 2-hour class when before I could not get out of my bed to go for water. I started to climb scenarios. I learned to work as a team. I became more sure of myself because I began to realize that if I wanted something, I could achieve it. And all these characteristics that I was acquiring with the dance could be observed in my way of being in all areas. I stopped having so much pain to say or do what I wanted. I definitely got completely out of the standard that was in my family, that it's quite superficial. Just going to shopping malls to buy things I did not need, and I began to spend all my free time in dance classes. I began to paint and read more about the arts. I got into a theoretical dance class. In a few words, the dance took hold of me, and it has not released me, but it does not bother me. It is the best thing that has happened to me. Finally, I do not think that the characteristics that I just mentioned that I acquired for the dance are only applied to me. I think I could say that they are common characteristics of people who perform some kind of art. The perseverance, the dedication, the security, the search to be better every day, and all those characteristics, I think you can find them in any artist, and without doubt they are some important qualities. I think that those who decide to dedicate themselves completely to an art are extraordinary people. Those young people in my school who have decided to take a career in art deserve all my respect, because they dare to do what they like the most, even though our society does not value these races enough, because I have not been able to get out of my life completely comfort zone to devote myself to dance completely. So if someone who listens to this podcast wants to dedicate himself to art but is not sure about what his family could say, my best advice would be, if it makes them happy to dance, sing, paint, play an instrument, whatever it is, do it. Dance for me is a unique form of expression that fills more than words. It is fear, anger, patience, effort, joy, everything in every movement. It is the faithful reflection of your present and past instants. Also a projection, an intention, and at times a frustration. I do not know what would happen to me if I did not know every day that I can get out of the context of daily life thanks to dance. In spite of everything I have said, I still find it indescribable that I feel every time I start the move to express myself. I hope this will last forever, and I hope everyone will feel something similar once in their life.